get out my house. I'm trying to leave this town. I'm trying to figure this out, but
Welcome to UView, the show dedicated to all things Arlington Youth. I'm your host, Sam Dieringer. Well, this is interesting. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't think I would have to be social distancing and wearing masks this much in the middle of July. While I do like sleeping in most days, I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of missing my friends, missing my activities, and most of all, missing my normal life. Well, if you're like anything like me and miss any of those things, then you're in the right place, because the goal of this show is about maintaining connection. It's about keeping us involved, keeping us entertained, and keeping us interested in what each other are doing on one platform. And this show will make you smile. It will make you think. And most of all, it will make you proud to be an Arlington kid. Now, we're going to start the show like we do every time, which we will every time, and that is with... What's up, Arlington? How's it going? Although this nasty pandemic is still raging in many parts of the country right now, Massachusetts and Arlington, at least at the moment, have gotten things relatively under control. And with phase 3 being upon us, there are some things opening back up, which is really great news. And if you're being safe, I can't wait to tell you about the destinations that are in store in Arlington in just a moment. Just a quick disclaimer before moving on. This is the segment where I will be usually talking about APS school updates about what the fall is going to be looking like. But currently, there are no updates right now, but I'll make sure to keep you posted about that in the next episode. Okay, for now, back to one of the topics of this segment. Phase 3 is upon us. Movie theaters, gyms, restaurants, stores, all opening back up a little more. Outdoor dining is big right now. Really bigger than ever it has ever been before. And it's looking like plans are in the works currently right now for Medford Street, the street where the Regent Theater is, to open up a segment of that street for certain restaurants and stores to open up on, which is really great news, that if you're being safe and if you're comfortable, is a great destination for some outdoor dining. Other than Medford Street, Kickstand Cafe in the center is expanding its patio for more seating. I know we have a lot of kickstand lovers out there. Parks and fields are opening back up for play, which is really good news. And what I think is very exciting news is the fact that Abbott's Frozen Custard is opening up a second location in Arlington Heights. So for all of my Arlington Heights people, that is a great place to take advantage of and get some frozen custard in the middle of the summer. In other news at the time of my filming, we are currently in the midst of a week of many discussions about the racism and promoting diversity throughout Arlington. There's currently discussions with the APS administration and other community members about school discipline, voter suppression, and there are other community events happening right now as well. So there's a lot going on, a lot of discussions happening in town right now. And actually, my next segment involves me sitting down with some Black Student Union members from AHS, where we will be talking about their work to address racism in Arlington and their work to continue to promote diversity and equality amongst students. Hello and welcome to Student Stories, the segment where I sit down and talk to students and community members around Arlington about the work that they're doing to make Arlington a more positive, welcoming, and all-inclusive place. And today I'm really excited to be sitting down with Jordana and Dorley from the Black Student Union at Arlington High School. And we are going to be talking about their work for advocating for racial justice and equality in Arlington. Jordana and Dorley, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's really good to be sitting down with you today. So I just wanted to start right off the bat. I know that first of all, I really appreciate, I personally really appreciate all the work you've been doing in this fight so far for Arlington. It's been amazing to witness. I know that I was down at the Activate Arlington rally and protest last month, and I felt like there was a lot of great positive energy with that. And I wanted to initially just see your reflections on how that whole process of putting together Activate Arlington and the whole event, how your takes on how that went.
The whole Activate Arlington experience was it was amazing. It was outstanding to see how many people support the Black students in Arlington. So just seeing the turnout was just, it was the most amazing thing. It was like, I was so proud because I actually sat on the board for organizing the protest. And just to see something that one student could do is quite amazing. And you see protests all around the country or all around the world, just starting from one student, I think even a 6-year-old even started their own protests. Like this is the new generation that's coming up and making sure that things can change. And to see the youth really like using their voice and making sure that their voice is heard is definitely an empowering experience. So just to see all the work, it was a stressful week. We had 1 week to build the protest. It was a long and stressful week, just making sure that the town could approve it, making sure how the school felt about it. We had some backlash from the administration at the school, and just making sure that we can, actually go through with it. Because 6 days to plan a town-wide event is a lot. I mean, it's not a lot. Sorry, it's insane. Not a lot. So to see it all, go about, it was amazing. But Jordana?
Yeah, I just want to add on to what you were saying, because this had to be one of the biggest things that BSU has actually done. Like, we've always wanted to do something this big so then people know about us and know about what we're trying to do in Arlington. But to see all those people, I just remember telling Dorothy, like, yo, I actually might have tears come out of my eyes, because there were just so many people listening to us and just respecting our views and just like wanting to help. So that just really, I don't know, just brought a lot of emotions, and I was really proud of all of us for that.
Yeah, it was really powerful to witness. I was sort of going around the edges on the outside throughout the entire event, and it was just like all the different areas and perspectives that I was getting. There was so much great energy that day, and seeing the signs when they were all put up in front of the high school afterward, it was really powerful to see that all come together like that. And even under the circumstances that you're talking about, I didn't even know that actually. So that is even more amazing. So, and just further sort of just building on the work that you've been putting together over the past month, I have seen the Black Student Union put together a petition, a 20-point petition for racial justice and equity in the APS school system. And I've been hearing just some amazing things about how detailed it is, how thorough. It's really amazing to see how well thought out each of these points are in this petition and how much positive feedback it's getting. And I want to hear, what was the process of putting that together? How did that all come together? And where did you get all these different little finite ideas to come together into this amazing petition?
So when I was organizing the protest, I had some other folks from different groups in Arlington, like diversity groups and Arlington Fights Racism, and we all put our heads together because they know a little bit more about the actual curriculum and like the specific details about the school. So we all put our heads together and we built the 20 demands together, and then the BSU and we went over the demands to make sure that we approved everything and if we could add anything or subtract anything. So that's kind of how the 20 demands went out, but it was really to make sure that we can change Arlington. We want to really stress the word demand. This is not something that we're asking for, we're demanding it. We want change in Arlington. We want to make this place a better place for all people. So that's something that we have done with the demands, and just to see how much positive feedback we got from the town right now. We really need that positive feedback from the administration as well. The school, Arlington Public Schools administration, to be clear. Yeah.
Those demands did come from Dorley and the people she worked with, but I would also like to add that the demands also came from just our experience in Arlington. Because a lot of demands, you can see that as a student of color, you can see what they've gone through. Like the one with the MECO students and the microaggressions. Those are stuff that we had to go through for a long time inside of Arlington High School. So it'd be nice for us to change it so then the future students of color who come to Arlington won't have to experience what we experienced.
Yeah, for sure. And that sort of leads me to my next question. That you put together these demands over the past month, and I want to now ask you, if you had any specific next steps in the immediate future for the rest of the summer, or we can even talk about going into the fall, any specific next steps or plans that the BSU has to continue to address these issues in the school system and in the town.
Right.
Yeah. So right now we're actually partnered up with another group who was actually trying to fight um, racism as well as us. So we're kind of together right now. And we've been on a lot of Google Meets with a lot of administrators and the principal and a lot of people in HR and outside of our, like the Arlington groups that help fight racism. We've been talking to them about what we can do within ourselves and with teachers and with staff and administration so that we can make change when we go back to in the fall, because obviously most of us are seniors.
Right.
So it's going to be really difficult to get something done within 1 year or even 9 months since we'll be graduating earlier. So we're just trying to get things done, a lot of things done this summer, so that when we go in the fall, everything's prepared and all we have to do is just start finalizing things.
Yeah.
And for me, well, technically I'm not even part of the HS anymore because I'm
Right.
an alumni, I graduated. So there's really not much I can do when it comes to the actual BSU because I'm not a student anymore. But as the Black alum, which is the group that actually led the protest because of the difference in age and graduating and everything, I have been partnering with a friend of mine who actually was one of the founders of the BSU as well, and Regina Jean, and we are building our own mentorship program, the mentorship program that our demands. So yeah, so we're looking to launch around the school year. I mean, when the school year starts. So that's something that we need the whole town support with that. And, that's one of the biggest things that we're doing. But I also have been making sure that I, come into conversations with Jordana and the other students, making sure as an alumni, I'm still part of the school, helping out with the mural that they're going to start. So definitely just sharing my voice, even though I have graduated. But I do have 2 younger siblings in APS, and I want to make sure that their future is also well for them as well. So yeah.
Wow, that is amazing to hear that even the alumni are continuing to put together projects and programs. That is really great news to hear, and I can't wait to see how that turns out. So we've talked a lot about how the BSU is doing work and putting together these projects for the students to promote active allyship and promote diversity throughout the high school and beyond. But I actually want to ask you now, how can all the students just in general, not just the students within the BSU, be active allies in this fight, and how can we carry ourselves in every day to be active allies and continue to support each other? I wanted to hear your perspective.
I think the first thing is education, just making sure that you educate yourself on your history, because I think that Black history is not just Black history, it's American history. This is something that all of us as a country have went through. And it is important for allies and POC to make sure that they understand where they come from and how America was built, because it was built on the back of slaves. And we all need to understand that. So I think education is the most important thing, because education can erase ignorance and it makes people more aware of what's going on in the world. So after education, just listening. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and listen to someone else's pain, because you can never really understand what someone's going through until you listen to them. And that's what we wanted at the protest. That's what we want through the BSU. That's what we want in general. That's what all people want, just to be heard. And, we want our allies to just listen and understand where these people are coming from, because they have stories as well. We don't want their stories to be shunned or be taken away just because of their skin color or their gender or sexual orientation, anything like that. Stories matter. People's lives matter. Black lives matter. So that's just something that we want for the whole town to understand. And also put action to your words, because it's you can say Black Lives Matter, you can say that you care about someone else's life, but you have to put action to it, because those you can say it, but you have to mean it. And that's what's something that I said at the protest, to the whole town, that it is time for us to come together and actually have action to it. Activate Arlington activate is an action word. It means grow, move, do something. You can't stay stagnant anymore. As a town, you can't stay stagnant. We have to keep on moving, because all of us are growing. Now we have to grow together as one.
So I just wanted to add on to that a little bit, because she said literally everything I was thinking. But I just want to add that communication really is key, because the listening, like just listening to our pain, can really just make that much of a difference. Because not everyone wants to listen to someone's side, because it might make them uncomfortable. But sometimes being uncomfortable is the first step to wanting change to happen. So communication really just means something. It is key. It really is.
Yeah, I could go on and on about talking about this, and I did all the takeaways from those comments are really important and great to continue this momentum and keeping up this fight and actually making that change and actively communicating. And I just really appreciate everything that the BSU and the other organizations that you're collaborating with are doing to make this change in Arlington. So with that, I thank you guys so much for coming on today, and I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Anytime. We're always here. Thank you.
Welcome to Creativity Highlight, the segment where someone in Arlington is highlighted for fun, creative, and interesting work of some sort over the quarantine. All right, now I get it. The wall that I'm sitting behind right now, this blank wall, isn't very creative at all. I'm kind of lacking right now. But trust me, the person that we are highlighting this week is going to make you forget about this wall in an instant. And that person is upcoming AHS senior Varun McIntyre. And basically what Varun has been doing is he's been taking it upon himself to put together some sketches, drawings, cartoons of all sorts of things, from NBA players, from Star Wars, superheroes. He really has it covered, and he's posting these all over social media. And the reason why we want to highlight him today is because if you're not seeing what he's doing on social media, you're really missing out. So without further ado, here are some of Varun McIntyre's sketches.
Someday it's alright. We're gonna feel the breeze, yeah, it's so light. Going back and I'll say I love you. Feeling close and there's distance on you. But the whole time I'm trying to keep myself in line, stay kind. If you try, you can see I'm honest. Feeling time is just passing on you. Yeah, I want to be Baby, I know it's you and me, but I can't touch you.
Welcome to Pop List, the segment where I recite your favorites of a given pop culture topic and then throw them majestically into the air. Favorite quarantine movies: Music Man, The Big Sick, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, the Halloween franchise, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Mamma Mia 2, Roman Holiday, Just Mercy, Waiting for Guffman, Cars, Ocean's 8, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And that does it for the first ever episode of YouView. Thank you so much to all of you that are tuning in right now. And this is your show. Any suggestions, comments, questions, really anything at all is open for how to make this show better. Feel free to reach out to us on Instagram, send us an email, comment in the comments section below. We can't wait to see where this show goes next, and we can't wait to have your help making it this great. On behalf of everyone, we'll see you next time.
It's been a while since I talked to you. I've been hitting up your phone. I sent you a link to a Zoom meeting.